7 o'clock on the nose. We'll open the meeting. Board of Health. First thing we do is board member reports. Anything that you have? Member report? You have anything?
I have nothing.
Well, I think I have something here, but I want to make sure that we skip it for a little bit until she can go. She's busy. The minutes, we can skip that for a minute, and we'll do it later. Correspondence update, we'll do it later. Now, hearing, 180 Howard Avenue. Sit.
I'm 180.
You want 180?
I am 180.
But she representing you, right?
Yes.
Okay, so why don't you let her talk to us?
Okay.
Okay, and if you have any objection or if you have any feeding that you can say, you raise your hand, say your name,
Great.
be polite like I am, you know what I mean? And we have no problem, okay? All right.
Thank you very much.
All right, go ahead.
Well, this is on for permit for 180 Howard. It's a replacement system. It's a large family home. It belonged to Ken Emmenworth, whom you might have remembered served this town well and capably for many years, till his older years when they added a in-law apartment on it. It's a Presby Enviro system. We've done all the recordings that we need to do, and the proposal is for a 7-bedroom dwelling designed by Stamsky and McNary.
So part of that design is that because of the lot configuration, the soil type, they're not able to get a system in there that would meet full compliance. And so if you were to plan here, the site's pretty much developed. Yep, that's why I got it for you right there.
Okay.
So here's the road.
Yeah.
The plumbing comes out the back of the house, so they did soil testing in the back of the house. What you can't see here, although they did mark it, there's enormous trees on the backyard, so they tried to go to an area where they would do the least amount of damage to the yard. But because of where it's located, this is the leach field itself, they're asking for a reduction in the groundwater offset, which is something that's allowed by Title V.
Okay.
So that's the local upgrade approval that's requested.
Okay.
And when they use the advanced enviroseptic, the Presby
Everything else
system.
is fine though, right?
Well, one
Distance?
other issue, but yeah, I mean, the other distances are fine. It's
Yeah.
the offset to groundwater.
Okay, what,
So-
from 3 to 5?
From 4 to 2.
Oh, 4 to 2.
Again, if you were to build it up 3, you would start filling onto the, or getting close and crossing the lot lines. I
Okay.
don't know if you can see it.
Is any walling involved there?
No, no. So what they're trying to do is end the grading before.
Grading is going to be a swell there?
There's a little bit of a swell to keep it on this property here.
But
This
there's no
little,
water going to the neighbor, anything like that?
I can't guarantee you that, but that's how it's designed.
How much fill's going in above current grade?
98, very little, actually. Might raise it a foot over the existing.
Oh.
Foot and a half, by the time you're done topping it off.
And was it a 7-bedroom, the previous permit? Was
So,
it
so
7?
that was the concern, that's the other concern I have. The previous permit for the system was a 5-bedroom. And so, as we've mentioned to the board before, typically on upgrade situations, if you can meet full compliance,
Yeah.
there's no issue having as many bedrooms as you want on the site. The code says designed for the number of bedrooms,
Right.
but you can have it in full compliance. When you're doing an upgrade and asking for variances, you're really restricted to what was there. And any of the records I can find just indicate that it's a 5-bedroom house.
Okay. So the question is, how big is the septic system?
It's designed for 7, but we don't have a reserve area, and we're asking for variances.
I think 7 is beautiful.
But it doesn't comply.
I know.
Okay.
So I'm just wondering, because do we have precedent for allowing for an upgrade like that?
Not that
With
I'm
an
aware
increase in
of.
bedrooms? I'm just thinking that, when you do something like this, it's precedent setting, because you have to treat everyone similarly.
That would be my recommendation.
And I
to the board.
hadn't, what,
That you kind of follow, and not set precedent unless there's some overarching.
so 5 bedrooms rather than the 7?
That's, I can't find any other record that shows, I mean, it's a big house, there's lots and lots of rooms in the house.
Yeah.
But again, nothing that seems to indicate that it was a.
So your recommendation is to keep it at a 5-bedroom
That would be
system?
it, yeah.
Okay.
And we're maintaining and claiming that the old permit was very much before Title V, when they sort of established it as 5-bedroom. And the lot owner, the owners of the lot, were allowed to expand this to a 7-bedroom by both the Board of Health and by the building codes when they added on the 2-bedroom accessory dwelling, because you have to get approval from the Board of Health to add that on.
There was
So-
nothing in the Board of Health records. that
Not in the
indicated-
Board of Health records, but they cannot get a an approval for an
Back in
accessory
69.
dwelling.
Do you have any documentation of approvals of the Board of Health to increase to 7
No,
bedrooms?
not from the Board of Health. I'm saying by the Littleton zoning bylaw, we have to go for an accessory dwelling, and the accessory dwelling cannot be granted until the Board of Health looks at the plan and says okay to it. They don't put anything in writing, it just has to go to the Board of Health. The Board of Health has to say that they believe it will hold it.
Are you
It's
talking about the
been-
new bylaw or?
The old,
bylaw?
that was the old bylaw when Mr. Ammenworth put the addition on for himself. It's been a 7-bedroom, it's been taxed as a 7-bedroom, and we do have history of applicants asking for the change from the old permit to the new permit with minor variances. I agree that if there's a lot of variances, it becomes a problem, but this is a very small variance, and the system has been designed as an EnviroPress B just for that reason, so that it can handle and treat for 7 bedrooms.
I would take exception to the minor variance. It's a 2-foot groundwater offset.
Yeah.
So it's
and
half the groundwater offset.
Again, precedent, like,
Yeah.
if we did it here, then we would have to do it for anybody who came in.
Again, if you
That's
could
the
point to
biggest
something
issue.
that said, here was something that said that the board approved 7 bedrooms way back when, I'd say, all
Yeah,
right.
that would be different.
But I can't find anything to that.
But the board hasn't approved anything since, what's the date on
Well, I
that
would-
permit?
I would
It's
agree with
well-
you, Jim.
Well before Title V.
Yeah, 1969 was this permit here.
69 was the first
Yeah.
time, and the system's been working fine with 7 bedrooms
I
ever
mean, people
since
come in
then.
with old documentation all the time, and we just go by what's in
Mm-hmm.
the file.
You know, I appreciate where you're at, but this is a 7-bedroom home. It sits way far back from the road, it's got plenty of land attached to it, it's not like we're
What about the
talking about
abutters?
a small lake lot.
Is there,
They wouldn't, because of the type of variances, they wouldn't need to been notified for the,
The question is, the septic system, that even though, let's say, for instance, the board approve it, are we gonna cause a precedent?
yes,
That there's gonna be other people coming, I have a
Absolutely.
5-bedroom, they
Absolutely.
want 7,
absolutely.
right?
But if the entire design is
No, no.
based upon 7, yeah.
I understand what you're saying, but,
It was recorded.
excuse me?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you have to wait until the chairman let you speak.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I'm from
That's
Venezuela,
all
I'm a
right.
little rough on the edges, but I'm trying to be polite.
Yeah, that's from 97.
The question is, young lady, if we're gonna go along with what you say, we are causing a precedent. And we only have 4 members here. I really like to have 5 members before we make any decision. Because I can say, well, we make an exception from 5 to 7, which is only 2 extra bedrooms. But then somebody else will say, you know something, I got room,
There's an awful lot of small
you know, and they
properties
say, I
around the
want
lake
more room.
Yes.
And, you know, even if I say yes, you might have 3 people say no.
Yeah.
So,
Not just one room,
it's better,
it's
it's
2
better.
rooms.
Well, it's a very large house. And
Yeah.
again, there's records of it being expanded in the building files, but not of any more bedrooms, so.
You know, if it has
There's a
7,
training room
if
in
it
there,
has
I
a
guess.
7
It's in
room,
97. So
that's a big house.
Yep.
From 95 on. Just where that was.
So, I mean, you know, for a 5-bedroom house, I don't have any problem with the variance that was requested.
No, we
Because
have-
it helps the system best fit into the site that's there.
Like you say, the house is big, everything's fine, only thing is a reduction of 1 foot,
2
2 feet
yeah.
from, from
So
4.
ha-
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to ask for it to continue till we have 5 members.
I
I want the engineer to come in, and I do want to call to the attention of the board that this has not only always been since 1990-something,
95.
95, a 4-bedroom with a 2-bedroom in-law and a mixed-use dental office. So it may have said 5 bedrooms on a 69 permit, but this house has handled all of that flow, including a dentist office with a lot of water flow without
We're not arguing,
problem.
we're not
Yeah.
arguing you because
Yeah.
we know you're very honest and I know you for a long time. The question is, maybe we better to have to postpone it.
Okay.
And also, I would like also, if we can find a precedent,
Yeah, I'll find one.
you know what I mean? Trying to find something that we can all agree, okay? Jim, I'm sorry you were not able to find anything, maybe she will find something.
Yep.
You know, I don't want her to see those chocolate go to waste, you know what I mean?
You can still have them. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
I'm
Thank you.
sorry.
Thank you for getting me in.
We'll see you again, young lady.
Pardon?
We'll see you again,
Okay, I hope so.
and you'll be able to speak immediately. Thank you.
Thanks, Jim.
You know, it's unfortunate, I mean, there's a lot of records where the assessors don't match the Board of Health file. But, you know, we've had conversations with the assessors, and they look at bedrooms and room counts slightly different than the Board of Health, so it's just kind of a
Yeah.
nature of the way things are done.
It happened to be in my street, too. The question is, it is a big house.
Yeah, that's her purse.
You may sit down. You have,
That's her purse. thing on the
That might be your purse. There's a
you-
purse behind you.
I don't have a purse.
No, not yours, that's what he said. Is that her?
I don't think you carry a purse.
I don't. It's a nuisance.
It's a man.
are you from the Cooper farm?
Immerse.
No, I'm not.
Immerse.
Yes, they have purses. I know somebody that had one.
They're very cool.
I don't think so. But that's okay.
Satchel, if you call it a satchel.
Then it becomes a fanny pack.
Satchel.
So anyway, I'll close the meeting of the 180.
The discussion, oh, the
The
hearing.
well, it wasn't actually a discussion.
hearing.
She was hoping to get a
Yeah,
permit.
so, the hearing.
But we hold on until, I'd like to see some proof, and I'm sure the chairman would like to see that too. And I've been here for many, many years. We're trying to be fair to everybody. The question is,
So
just
the
because
exact
you're a
proof-
commissioner doesn't mean you can say yes to everything. Sometimes we have to say no.
The exact proof that we're looking for is to show that this tank was approved, that there's a precedent set back when saying it's a 5-bedroom tank, but they can have 7 rooms in the house.
So, yeah, you'd be looking for something that indicated that they were
Right.
allowing the expansion from the Board of Health standpoint.
Because we don't want to set that now if we don't if it's already been set.
You certainly.
You're gonna find out.
I guess you want to appreciate whatever agreements and approvals that were made. So let's say, back 20 years ago, there was a letter, there was a building permit pulled for the in-law apartment, and the Board of Health said, we're okay with the existing system the way it is to handle that flow. Well, it may not say 7 bedrooms, but you can look at the building permit, and you can look at the Board of Health letter and say, they said it was okay for 2 more bedrooms, so therefore, I mean, that kind of documentation would make it hard for me to say, yeah, the board didn't approve it for anything more than that.
Yes.
But just having the 5-bedroom
Documentation.
permit by itself really makes
Yeah.
it difficult
I-
to say.
I hope they find something. If they don't find it, it's gonna be very hard for them to,
Well, I looked through the building inspector's file to see if I could find something, because, I'd just soon not have this
Yeah.
happen at a meeting. If something was there, I would
Yeah.
have just said, all right, fine, this is the history of it.
can you mention to Shelley that to make sure that something like that,
Well, I mean, we always try to do that.
and nothing happened?
Yeah, well, I mean, sometimes the records don't exist, sometimes,
No.
depending how long ago it was done, maybe it was just done.
The owner was very well known in town.
But that's right, and so there's a lot of records of additions and stuff like that,
There have
but,
been things.
yeah. I mean, and things like treatment rooms and stuff like that, which was like, okay, it was a treatment room,
So-
but now I understand it was a dentist, so that makes sense.
Is it because they wanna have a big family, or is it because they wanna rent in-law apartment?
Don't know.
Well, that was my next question, was
Yeah.
about the new bylaw for the.
For the new,
Yeah.
for the
For the
in-law
additional
apartment,
in-laws.
yes. That will come
They
up,
don't have to-
that will come up pretty soon, I'm telling you right now. Even though, you have a big septic system, as long, you know something, as long they keep it clean every 18 months, there won't be no problem. But there's people that never clean their septic system.
Well, one of the things is, let's say it was just a 5 and you're gonna let them, I mean, and they wanted to go to a 7, if they proved that they could put it in a fully compliant system, that would be fine.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But I understand there's a 45,000, 50,000 for something the extra big for 7 bedrooms.
Well, and that 2-foot groundwater offset helps them fit that system in that
Right,
location.
right,
so-
right. So, I apologize.
All right.
Oh,
So, the meeting was closed, and now we have 7:15. We did 7:15?
Yes.
We can have discussion of, who's a Cooper farm here? Oh, no.
It's not just me.
We still know.
How are you?
I hope he's nice.
Money's nice.
We still know.
How are you?
Hi.
How are you?
How are you?
Good, Matthew Field.
You gotta be in trouble to come to us, right?
I'm in no trouble.
Don't you have
We're
every-
all approved.
So,
We're-
you come to say hello to us?
I'm just coming here to get my permit signed.
Oh,
The other ones are approved, so careful with that.
that's, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Where's the, oh, you have it.
Nope,
You lucked out.
Mr. Griffey has it.
I have no idea.
Oh, you got the permit?
Oh, well, do you want
So
to
it's-
see what the
So
plan?
it's on for
Yeah, let's see
discussion,
the plan.
just
We're
to
doing it
clarify.
first.
So this is, yeah, that's another one, that's on new
Oh, okay,
construction.
okay.
So what they're looking for is the development over on Great Road, so it's fully compliant, so there's no variances needed. So, except for its scale, it's like any other permit that you might look at, except it's much larger. So, I'll let you.
No, please, you're doing wonderful.
Go ahead.
Okay. So what you have is a development that's going to be a homeowners association, and one of the lots is a condominium. So total, how many lots?
So we have
41.
41.
41. 20 of them will be, or 21 will be three-bedroom, single families. 20 will be over 55 restricted
Two-bedroom.
units. Two-bedroom units.
Two-bedroom.
So
Five
that's,
rooms,
that's,
two bedrooms.
so that's what the development is. It's a little different in that it's a shared system, so each lot won't have its own system. They will have one system that they share. And the reason why that's important is there's all kinds of legal documentation that goes along with that.
So, both,
Which is what's right here.
yeah.
There's that much paperwork that your town council has already reviewed.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
you
what I was
review.
Yeah,
like,
and
oh,
review
I
and
don't
send
think
We
us
we
don't
okay.
have to read all the
that.
book.
No, I've gone through it, town council's gone through it, so.
The question is, you have to emphasize, to whoever buys those two-bedroom, they gotta keep the septic system clean.
There's no
It's
septic
part
system,
of,
it's a
it's part
shared
of the
system.
It's part of
maintenance.
it?
We have a maintenance
Okay.
package included
Okay.
that they'll be pumped all the tanks will be pumped every 2 years.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And it's part of the maintenance of the project in itself.
So part of the approval, one of the documents is they have to have an approved operation and maintenance contract
That
for
was
the
falling
system.
off.
Because there's so many tanks,
Yeah, yeah.
there's 4 pump chambers, and then there's the whole leaching area that has to be.
That's
What,
beautiful.
what's the square footage on the 3 bedrooms and the 2 bedrooms? Is it standard?
house?
Yeah.
It's the
Just
same
like-
that everything else has been going through with 3 bedrooms.
What's that? Is it a standard size, or are they all
What, the
different?
house size?
Yeah.
No, they range from 25 to 3,000.
Square feet. How's it coming along? Go so far?
It's really nice. Please go up there and look around. The road will be paved
I'm
within-
gonna see if I find something that's
by
not right,
September 1st.
I give you notice.
You will.
And don't bring any cookie items, because I'm gonna give you hell.
So again, the development will be covered by a shared system agreement. And in that shared system agreement, one of the components is that they have to put together a financial mechanism. So money has to be put aside over time for the replacement of the
My partner,
system.
Brother Michael Freeman.
So that agreements, again, will be part of the sign-off on the system. And they're going to put together a replacement cost, so we can actually put that in there so the money can, some of the concerns with large systems like this, say 10 years or 11 years down the line, if the association hasn't put money aside.
Right.
And it fails, all of a sudden you're kind
Right.
of.
It's like having a condominium, something like that.
That's right, it kind of puts the
Right.
town in a pickle, so
Right, right.
to avoid that, there's that escrow account. that-
Escrow account.
Yeah,
That's
and the Board of Health
Yeah.
has the ability to pull that escrow account and fix the system if they need to.
Right.
So that's the way the account is set up. So
I just wanna make sure.
again, it's meant to protect the
Yeah.
town from being financially hurt by,
Right.
the development.
You'll
So-
be around another 50 years, right?
Oh, yeah.
So again, it's going to be 21 single families, the 20 over 55s. It's a strange permit in that there's a lot to it, and there's a whole list of inspections. But otherwise, it's a straightforward system. Again, all the legal part of it's been reviewed by council so that we can feel comfortable. Because you have the shared system agreement and a homeowners associations agreement and a condo trust and master deed and the escrow account, we sent it to council to make sure they.
That's good.
To look at it, make sure all the documents were nested together so that all of the requirements were met back and forth, so.
I remember when you came the first time, the board says, hey, you're gonna have a share, so make sure you do it right.
We did.
We did, I'm proud of you.
So,
So
Right.
did
I don't know. Go
are
ahead.
the HOA fees affected by special assessments for the tank?
so I'm going to let them speak to that, but, so one of the things that they did in the escrow account is to make sure that regular common expenses were separate from the money that gets set aside to ultimately fix the system.
Okay.
So they'll have, and again, I'll
There's
let,
a maintenance plan that goes along, that we have a certain portion of the systems we pumped quarterly, so that, and there's quarterly inspections that go along with this system as well, that are inspected by a third party, that's gonna maintain, making sure the system's running right, monitoring it, quarterly, making sure the septic tanks get pumped on a regular basis, make sure people aren't putting items in the septic system that aren't supposed to be put in it. And in that case, they'll be able to know who, say if someone's dumping paint down in the system, they'll be able to know who, the items you're not supposed to put in there. But there's a maintenance plan that goes along with it to, keep the system running at the right, flow every day, and, you don't want to pump all 40 of them in one day. So,
Well, and the reason I ask for that is because when I was on a board for a condominium board, you can't really enforce payment of HOA fee to a certain degree, so if people would lapse, so that's why, the way you explained it was good, because a portion of it's going totally separate.
Correct.
So it's not gonna be affected if one person defaults on it, or if 10 people default on it, it still will have already been put aside. So that's good, because I'm just saying, so that escrow account will grow.
Yep.
It won't stall, because if
So
it's stalled, then you're screwed anyway, so.
Besides.
We actually start the escrow account with funds in it.
So then they make 9 more payments
My
over the
next
years.
question,
Yeah.
okay.
You have to realize it. It's
We
gonna
start
be-
with 10% of our replacement cost in the escrow account already.
Okay.
And then they have 2 years to make sure they refurbish, because it takes 2 years before they need to be pumped out.
Actually, the good thing is they'll keep those expenses separate, so
Right, right.
what they'll do is over the course,
Right.
one part of the replacement cost, they'll put in the initial 10%, and then each year they'll put in 10% more, so that
There's
at
going to
the
be a
end of 10
separate
years.
account.
Yeah.
George, yeah. I don't think I have any problem now. Anybody wants to ask a question?
Yeah, so you talked about gonna have somebody maintain the system and monitor it?
Yep.
And
No.
No, he's talking quarterly, he's talking about.
Yeah, but it's done
monthly.
it's
There- with the system-
monitored by a outside company that we've hired.
Okay. And should we know who those people are?
No,
or-
not necessarily.
There's a bunch of different ones, but like we have one for a system we did on Oak Road, and they monitor, they make sure the system's running right. They come out and do an
It's not
inspection.
just somebody
Oakson.
that you've hired, it's somebody that does property maintenance and.
No,
septic
no,
system.
no.
They
they're
work on septic
wastewater.
systems, that's it. Wastewater treatment plants, that kind of thing.
We actually you have to sign a contract with them yearly. Oakson is who we signed with.
So that's the
On
example
last-
of what the operation maintenance plans.
Like we have something on 119, the big building. They have a,
Right, they have a company that monitors it. I mean, there's, Weston and Sampson, there's
Right.
different companies that do it.
so I don't have any problem. It's up to you people. I entertain a motion after you read
Well,
that.
this was just a discussion though, not a hearing.
No, this is the permit to be
Yes,
signed.
sir.
Yeah, so I mean, it doesn't require any variances.
Oh, okay.
It's just a consideration for a permit. I'm more than happy to answer any questions too.
He's got no problem by saying okay, and I'm entertaining a motion.
Do you have any concerns or anything?
No, I mean, so.
I don't have any question.
What I can do is, we've got a list of inspections, because there's no treatment to it, so it's not like there's a treatment system. It's a
Right.
straight Title V system. It just happens to be a very large one. So there's lots and lots of inspections. One of the requirements for certificate of compliance will be execution of all of these documents, the escrow account, the operation and maintenance contract, all the condo docs, all the homeowners association documents. To me, that was the most important part, to make sure that stuff all.
So how do you ensure that that in the long term, that
It's gonna
the
be taken
maintenance
care of.
is
Yeah,
being
that's what I
done?
was gonna-
So that, they need to report to the Board of Health. So in the section that talks about escrow, that talks about reporting the inspection.
So there's a required
Every 2
reporting?
years.
How, every 2 years?
Quarterly.
Quarterly, no, because if they're gonna inspect it quarterly, they would be
They
reporting
have-
their reports quarterly.
Yeah.
So we're going to be getting a report from you guys
Right, so
quarterly?
They're gonna clean it
From
every
the
year.
maintenance company, yes.
Okay. So
How can we do
I
that?
guess who's responsible for ensuring to make sure that the maintenance gets done?
The homeowners association?
Yeah, that's what I figure, okay.
That's why they're paying for the extra.
Let's see if we see that we don't get a quarterly report, we can flag that.
So we need
because
to
then
make
there's a
sure
way-
it's coming in?
And then we can address the association.
Okay. Where's,
Similar to
We have it
other
now,
systems,
people,
like Nevada
we have
systems,
the
they have,
report every quarterly for other,
is it,
We have
most
no
systems like say
It's annual.
annual?
Yeah.
But if you don't get a report, then either you send something to the homeowner, or someone's, there's already something in place for if it's not getting done, the Board of Health has.
The right
Is
to
it-
get it done.
Well, typically, the people who were maintaining the system before sent us a note saying we're no longer doing it, which is a good way to remind us to tell them.
yes, you are.
You need to get somebody else to do it. Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
right.
Oh, I see.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
They
that's a
kinda
good
square one
flag, yeah.
saying, Geez, they're not paying for us to do it anymore. Who are they paying it? So
Yeah, okay.
It works.
All right.
Yeah.
As long as money is gonna be okay. Now I entertain a motion?
So it's a matter of signing a permit if.
Do we have to motion to sign the permit, or we just?
It's, whatever you do typically for a single family or a new system.
For the old system.
I motion that we go with the whole system as is being built and approve the agreement.
We're gonna keep an eye on these two guys here,
I got it.
right? And a second? Anybody second?
Should we wait for John?
No, no need to. This is something different.
It's compliant. I'll second it.
All in
Yeah,
favor?
I just want to make sure that
All in
those
favor?
people that are maintaining it are going to keep on maintaining it. So if the homeowners default and stop paying, and they say, we're not paying, and we're not doing it anymore, then does the
They're
town?
gonna evict them.
It's not
Very simple.
ironclad.
Yeah,
You can put a lot of protection. This is just the way I look at it. So you put the protections in and then monitor, and then you don't know. It's a
Yeah.
risk.
When I was
I
on
don't
that
know if I
board,
agree with that, Aaron, because selling real estate, wouldn't they need, at that point, if they'd stop paying, they wouldn't be able to sell a home, would they, Jim, without a...
Right.
Well, there's a
without
requirement in the homeowners
Right.
association, the grant of easement where they have to do Title V inspections, and those have to be submitted. So as the Title V inspections.
Yeah.
Shared systems, I believe, have
I
to be
mean,
inspected.
when I say risk, there's always a risk associated with
Yeah, but I
everything, so I'm
mean,
not saying
there
it's.
there are catch safes by, when you have to sell a home, you have to have a Title V.
yes, especially
And
condo.
if the
The
condo
Title V
association
fail.
is not keeping up with their
Yeah.
maintenance,
Right.
how would they get the ability to get the Title V from the Board of Health?
Right.
So one of the good things about a shared system is, unlike your house only has to be inspected when you go to sell it.
Yeah.
This has to be inspected either, I forget if it's annual or every 3 years, a shared system.
Yeah.
But so it has to be done on a regular basis.
I guess it's just up to us to make sure that it's coming in, that it,
Yeah.
you know, the paperwork's
But
coming in.
again, we will be flagged, like he's saying, and when you move from a condo, you don't get
You
the
need a
title, you don't get
6D
the
certificate.
6D certificate without it being passed from
Right.
the septic. So
Mhm.
Right.
we would always be flagged if something was
So
wrong.
yeah.
Regular, I mean, of course, they're moving in, they're all gonna be there at least another year or two, but by then, you've pumped it.
Right.
You know, so it's brand
And
new.
again, it's going to have regular Title V inspections of the tanks and the leach field because of the type of system that it is.
And if we
Will
are
you be
receiving
doing
the
that?
reports, we
No,
can
they
tell
hire
that the
private
company that is doing
Okay,
it, we
that's
can
good.
tell them they have to do
We
it.
receive from different project every quarter. We check. If we don't, we go look.
All right, who needs a pen?
All right.
We didn't vote yet.
We have second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Did-
All opposed? No, all right.
All right, so
Okay.
it's,
But I lived in a
there's the
condo.
right normal signature page,
Yeah, it's
and
just-
then there's what I did was an addendum because of all the inspections and all
We
the
let
other approvals.
we let the lady sign before she change her mind.
Okay.
Sign first,
Doesn't make any difference if I change my, I already
Okay.
said aye.
all right.
The biggest thing.
You knocked out. I didn't even give you a hard time today.
No, I don't need a hard time.
But I don't have to sign
The
this.
bottom one, yeah, there, because that's the addendum page with that, yeah.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
There's always the way.
that way there, if the two get separate, they know that.
I like your question.
You need a pen?
What's that?
Who needs the pen?
I think I got 2 pens.
It's not
Last
very
night I said
good.
at
I don't know
the,
what the deal is with pens
of
these. I
conservation.
don't know about pens
I'd like to
these
make a
days.
motion.
I know, because I like fine points.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I know those pens. Wait, same one.
It's a, and it works well.
I give it back to you. Was it, we need the other one?
I would've had a pen,
Well-
but I-
This is a nice-
Alrighty,
this is a special pen.
the date
Get
signed.
your dig safe certificates, guys. Permits.
I'm sorry?
Say, get your dig safe.
Okay.
Thank you very much for your time.
Take it easy.
Thanks
Good
for
night.
explaining again.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. I gotta give you a pen.
You know what, I have a pen in
Where?
my car, but I
Yeah.
don't have my regular.
Oh, I
pen.
have pens.
I have pens.
I should have pens.
What a nice
This is right
lady.
down the street from me.
And $100 a shell. I'll.
Hey, Janet.
Which one is this one?
I'm not sure I can get the other stuff.
Good night.
Do you need a pen?
Well, I give it to her, now I haven't,
Yeah.
my pen.
Can I see that?
Well, I
Give me the
just want
other
to make sure it goes.
Well, hold on.
Well, see, the
Still
last
running
time-
away?
One, because this was set up first,
I didn't sign
I got the
it.
inspections.
I don't
I wanted to go as
You're not
well.
gonna do things the way I understand
Okay. All right, we close the meeting on that particular,
it. Okay.
what else we got here?
That's fine, because if we're
And
signing.
now, Cooper Farm. Anybody from Cooper
That
Farm?
was Cooper
That
Farm.
was Cooper Pond.
Okay, there was, okay. 730 on the note, boy. Ain't you guys nice? 7:45, we got plenty of time.
Secretary?
Tear down
Aye.
the building and lock
I'm on the
it.
second, oh, I am.
Hearing,
I got those.
11:15 Taylor Street?
Last time, 'cause the dates.
So it's at 7:45, so that was kind of a timed hearing, so I didn't want to wait, just in case anybody else was going to be here for that. I hate
Yeah,
to say
you
that.
mind waiting a few
Oh,
minutes?
I think you're right.
Yeah, just in case.
So,
And I'm not gonna...
we had this on the table, but we don't know what it is.
Turkey, looks like it's all.
I know, but it's
All
not-
right,
I
so
drove
now
by
we
there
have...
the other day.
Was that the one?
Pond
that-
is
the-
gone.
That's, okay.
So what, update on the...
So we have,
Looks like conservation paperwork. It's an NOI.
7:45.
oh, so it's another committee?
Yep, there was a conservation.
So,
What time are you?
7:45.
We were supposed to be at the last meeting, but I was told by Michelle it was canceled.
You're correct. I was wondering because I didn't see you.
Yeah,
So
so
what is it all about?
21 Park Drive.
Okay,
I'm 7:45, do you want me to say?
yeah, do you mind, you can sit, keep
But
us
we
company.
can't, we can't do it if it's not on the agenda.
Huh?
Well, I mean, they can certainly talk, to it, they just can't do any, can't
Right.
make any decisions.
Would you like to come?
Sure.
Let's see what,
So you're saying we can discuss, we just can't?
Can't make decisions, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure why it wasn't put on.
So I don't have you in the, I don't have you in the agenda, that's why. I don't
Well, we
have you.
apologize, sorry about that.
All
Well,
right.
I mean, you know.
Write
Well, I mean,
down-
it's basically an update on what's going on. anyways.
Write down what the reason you're here, yeah.
Oh, you found a pen.
I give you a pen,
It
yeah.
doesn't work very well.
That's all right.
Don't take this one, I give you a pen. That's for you. That's
Bring it
mine.
back. I have plenty of
Here.
things, just not with me tonight.
It's just a bad pen. That's why I gave it away.
Have your bad pen back.
Jeez, I already have
Bring
it.
it from-
You give it to me already?
Oh, thanks.
You're gonna give it to me?
Yes, when he
All
hands,
right, okay. I got the
he
pen.
hand makes the.
Oh, wow.
And how are you?
Good.
Last time I saw you at the transfer station.
Are you, okay. We'll see what, thank you so much for, I'm sorry about last time. I was here, but nobody else showed up.
Well, Michelle called ahead of time and told us that
She
it was
couldn't reach
gonna
me,
be
she says.
canceled. Oh, okay.
It
Yeah,
wasn't,
my email, your email keeps getting bounced.
Yeah.
back to
Yeah.
me, so-
do you know why?
Because
you don't
he
have
doesn't
an email?
it activated anymore?
Wait a minute. I pay my bills. The question is, I have
I don't think you
100
pay a bill.
100 email for your information, the people wants me to help them, and they always, I get it, and I delete after I read it. Even now, I go, even now I can get it. What do you want me to do?
No, it's not, it's getting kicked back, you're not getting your emails.
Now I get it. You email me now and I get it. Go ahead, do it. All right. Park Drive, 21 Park Drive. Okay, can we hear, and would you please state the name of this individual?
Robert Markley, this is Vernon Hartwell, one of the owners
Okay.
of the property.
You're one of the owner?
Yes.
All right. Okay, go ahead.
So would the board like me to kind of?
Oh, is
refresh
this the
my
one I
memory?
have to recuse myself on? I think it is.
No,
What?
this was the.
I'm the abutter, aren't I?
No,
No,
Oh.
this was the tenants and the
Right.
tenancy and the home improvements, the
I'm the abutter.
stuff. All right.
One on the backside.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh.
You want to excuse yourself?
I
Go
think
get
I should.
something to- Go to get
You can't
something
really
to
make any
drink.
decision.
Oh, true, I can just sit here.
Yeah.
Sorry,
That's
okay,
yeah.
Right.
okay.
That's gonna hurt you though. Oof. Go ahead.
Okay, so we appeared in court on July 21st in Northeast Housing Court, came to an agreement with the tenants that they would vacate the property by September 30th. As part of that agreement, they were supposed to pay their normal rent for use and occupancy for this month and next month while they're still there. They haven't paid for August. Normally, it's due on the 4th. They still haven't paid to this date, so.
That has nothing to do with us, though.
Oh, no, but no, we're-
I don't
well,
even
I'm
want to
just-
know this.
No, but I'm updating
you on everything.
the
What's going on.
status. So we're going to file a motion for judgment based on their breach of the agreement for judgment and anticipate that they will actually no longer be at the premises before the September 30th deadline. But even if the judge decides to let them stay with the existing agreement, that they would still be up by September 30th. So we just didn't, we're following up to let you know kind of the status of things. All of the repairs that have been requested have been done. We've submitted the receipts. We do have a chimney sweep receipt.
So one of the things you would ask for is that the furnace be
Furnace
looked
be
at.
serviced, yeah.
And so,
And the
as part of
septic be
that-
pumped and
Right.
carbon monoxide and smoke.
And so one of the things on the furnace report was that there's possibly an issue, because the hot water heater, I guess, goes in there too. And there were some issues with, potentially an issue with it back flowing into the.
Right,
So we asked them to go out and take a look at that too, after your meeting, so.
Right, we would have done it at the time, but we weren't aware that that was an additional step that we would need to take because of the no requirement of heat. But when I spoke with Jim, he said he wanted it done, we had it done, so.
So it's with the hot water heater, which even if they're not using heat.
Yeah,
it's
right,
water,
right.
so-
So we did have that done, and we have the receipts for the board to go with the file.
Do you
with
have
the
a
other
copy for us?
receipts.
I don't have the key to make a copy.
Okay, yeah, I
Would it be
just,
kind enough
Is
to
that
make a
just the
copy?
chimney, or is that the other things that we asked them to do?
no, we had submitted those receipts prior.
Okay.
We just hadn't had the
This is the last
chimney
one.
We don't have a
done.
file because.
So Shelley has them, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so
Make
all you
this-
have to do is just submit that
Okay,
to
so
Shelley.
I'll
Make
bring
a
it,
copy.
I'll
Yeah,
bring it
just so
another
that it's
day.
all in one place in the
Maybe.
file.
Scan and email them to her, that would be.
Yeah,
Sure.
that was the last thing that we were
Yeah.
asked to do.
Right,
So
so,
then you're okay now.
right, so everything's been done that's been requested.
Thank you.
And,
So you want our blessing?
Well, we
I think
can't
they
give
just-
a blessing.
yeah, we're just
an
updating
Updating us.
All right.
on the status of what's going on, because if, you had indicated at the prior meeting that if they were gonna be there for like another 6 months, that
Right,
you
right,
want us to
right.
do more work, but it's gonna be less than 6 weeks, or even less than that.
You okay with that?
I'm okay with that.
All right.
I'm willing to wait, and find out what's going on
All right.
with the court.
And you have September 30, right?
Or
Maybe.
sooner.
Or-
Well, that would be the latest.
Right, right.
Because that was the date that we'd agreed upon. We sat down with the
Right, right.
mediator in housing court and worked things out, and, said you could stay for another 60 days, but they haven't
Well, you
paid
have a
the.
nice young man there helping you out, okay?
Yeah.
Well, thank you for coming.
Sure.
Yeah.
And we will give a further update as soon as we know what is going on with the housing
All right.
court.
Awesome.
We thank you for coming.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for hearing us, even though we were on the list.
No, no problem. You have a good day. And they tell me that I'm rough.
Just around the edges.
I'm a Terry.
He's our sergeant at arms, if you can believe that.
Oh, that's good.
Take it easy. I'll see you tomorrow.
Oh, no, I still got another meeting after this.
All right. I'll see you follow. It's gonna be next week, follow. It's gonna be at Forno.
Is it gonna be
Okay,
open?
you make now, and
Go.
no interruption.
Go
We
forward.
close
Is it
the, we open the meeting, we close the meeting for that particular
And you,
21 Park
we're
Drive.
gonna wait till 7:45
Again,
Okay.
he's on 7:45, he may.
Okay.
for Taylor Street.
And
So-
just in case anyone should come.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Be comfortable. I will not move you again.
That's okay.
We're just gonna have a discussion, and
Do we want to do our administrative matters now?
Why don't we do that, yeah, okay? I don't have anything to give you. What they have?
We don't have any minutes to approve.
No,
I
because
don't
we
have
didn't
any
have a
minutes.
meeting.
We don't have any
2 weeks ago,
correspondence.
We don't
so-
have, we don't have anything.
I motion to approve the non-minutes,
Okay. Now we postpone the meeting for next time.
considering I wasn't at the meeting, so I can.
Yeah, I guess.
Well,
Administrative
Tony
I
Stumble?
have a few things on my to-do list, to go to a Concom meeting and find out, what they do and what we do, just to make sure we're coordinated. I found in my
You know
notes, and I think
something?
I had something else on my to-do list, too.
You mentioned something like that. You can do on your own. The question is,
Right, I
the
just
Board of
haven't done
Health
it.
and the Conservation are separate. Okay? They don't mingle with us,
I just look at,
and we don't want to mingle with them.
So would we be opposed to going to another town's meetings?
no, I think that's a great idea.
That's what I think, when we can learn from our surrounding, because we take care of them.
The question is, we have an agent right there,
Mhm.
and he goes to, how many, 6 towns? What?
3.
3 towns. So I
600
think we
times
have
a week.
enough knowledge in 3 towns that we don't have to mingle with any
I-
other.
I-
town.
But see,
feel-
for education of the
Yeah.
whole board,
If you want to do it as a person, individual.
that's what I'm saying, it's not that we
You
go as a
do it as
board.
an individual. The question is, don't mix the board, because we already have enough knowledge from other boards.
Do you know that's not at all what I was saying? I wouldn't mix boards, because every board's gonna have their own.
That's what I'm
methods.
doing with Concom,
All
and
right.
then I was just
You-
gonna
you
put
do
that report
whatever,
back.
yeah.
So.
As a personal input, that's fine. But I don't think the board should be involved.
So what I do is I talk with Amy all the time, so.
Yeah.
If there's a project that involves both committees, I'm in contact with her to find out what their board's doing. And-
Right.
It's just hard, you get plunked in the seat, and it's good,
Yep. Oh,
just
no,
trying to
absolutely.
understand everything,
Yeah.
I think is helpful, so that's all.
And if she has a question, and if I have a question, we certainly work together well enough that we
All right,
can.
we don't have anything else here. Is there anything to sign over there?
No, no.
Correspondence and updates.
All right.
I just had a question. Do we have anything to do with any kind of opioid program?
Oh, that's a
at
good
all
question.
With Board of Health?
Well, the Board
Or
of-
is there another board in town that
That's
does
a
it? Or
very
is
good
that something
question.
that would fall under what we do?
Okay, can I say something? All right, I'm a sergeant one in Rotary, okay? I gave out 15,000 of those pamphlets that it tells you what opiates does
Mhm.
and how to be careful with it, to different town, to the superintendent of the school,
Mhm.
to Westford, to Groton, to Air. The Rotary will take care of it because the government don't have any money and the town will not give you 1 cent. All right, so the Rotary does that, like eradicate polio from 1982, 84 to now. We eradicate polio,
Mhm.
and it cost $1.5 billion.
That's
It
it?
was all from donation. So I think I said enough. The Rotary takes care of the Board of Health if it's something that we get involved. Okay, I ordered another 1,000 so we can give it to Littleton Rotary and they will give it to the town of Littleton in the event somebody has a problem. And we have people that be able to help. We helping other people trying to, quit if they can, drugs. There's a lot of drugs around. The question, Littleton doesn't have too many problems so far.
I think you're mistaken.
So far, I'm
So
saying.
what I think might be helpful is to go back to what our mission is, our regulatory mission, and of course, you know what it is.
Well, so for
But-
the opioid part of it, there's no specific,
Well, I wouldn't
Yeah.
expect that,
Yeah.
but there is a mission, the Board of Health has specific, and I think that, I know for me, and I'm gonna go back and try to look at it and understand it to see if,
Is it in our book?
yeah, if with something like that would come under it, because it is a health issue.
Well, I know
And that's
Westford-
really, really
Westford
great
has
that
Rotary
Rotary's
Against
doing
Substance
that.
Abuse.
Rotary
It's
does
a,
it, their part.
They do fundraising and education and stuff like that in the
is it a
schools.
town program or? is
Yeah,
it-
I'm not
There's
exactly
probably
sure.
grants too that you
When-
can
when-
write for.
When opioids are a problem worldwide.
Right.
And when they are a problem, hold on, when they are a problem when it comes
I'm
next
agreeing
door,
with you.
from worldwide to next door, why do we limit, I'm asking you, Gino, why do we limit what board can do what, or what board should do what? Why doesn't the
No.
entire United States of America
Let
and
me
the
tell you-
entire earth
Let me
blend
tell you
together?
something. Maybe you people don't understand what I'm talking about.
I think it might be vice versa.
91 individual in this country die every day,
Mhm.
okay? So Littleton, we don't have anybody dying. But in Acton, yes. And I went to the superintendent, they gave this pamphlet so they can give to their parents.
Mhm.
A 7-year-old boy died overdose. Why? The parents have to be careful. They have the medicine, they should put a little lock, with a key. The kids don't know what they hear from other kids. Oh, take the drugs, they make you feel good. The drugs are in the house already.
Oh, Gino, I
Some
get what
people-
you're saying.
If you take a bottle of aspirin, you die.
No,
So
that's true.
any medicine that you buy, even in a drugstore, you have to make sure that nobody
Addiction.
touches it.
Yes, I totally
addictions.
get it, but here's the thing, Gino, that's going on to what you're doing as a human being for the Rotary, and what you're doing for the opioids that are in our area. Regardless of somebody dying here, if we can stop the opioid problem in Littleton, can't the
I-
people that have stopped it help the people in Acton?
I
Can't the
agree.
people in Acton help the people in
I agree.
Chelmsford? Can't the people
Everybody's
expand?
trying. We had a show.
But you're limiting, now you're saying the
No, I'm not
Rotary and I
limiting.
do it.
No,
So-
I'm not limiting.
Okay.
Individually, you can do it. You can do whatever you
Well,
want
why can't-
individually.
that's fine.
As the board,
2 minutes.
As the board, we don't have at the moment that particular problem.
Jim, as Senate, are you, your role, is it Board of Health agent for all health issues? Like Neshoba Valley, your organization, are they dealing with opioid addiction and
Just
addiction?
tangentially, I mean, again, it's what we can and can't do, what we have the ability to handle and the staff to handle.
Yeah.
So that's not one of the things. I mean, public health nurses, we have.
Yeah.
But again, they deal with a lot more hoarding type issues and communicable disease type issues, so.
Oh, okay.
So, again, it's a matter.
That's interesting, that isn't, I mean, that's,
Yeah, it may actually be more police, fire.
Well, some committee, like,
that
you know,
need
some
to take
committees
the
are
steps,
approaching
Immediate
it
responders.
with education.
That need to take
part of it.
take the first step.
but they're starting to look at it differently, where it's a health issue rather than, you know, a police enforcement,
Correct. Yeah.
criminal issue.
Because addiction is a health issue.
Right, and we're moving, so, you know, we gotta move with what makes a lot of sense and with the times. and- I think-
45 seconds.
Okay.
All right, close.
Well, something to
Then
think about,
discussion.
something to talk about.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Future.
really glad you brought that up.
You are on now.
Okay.
Now, what's your problem?
Um,
We got enough problem here. What's your
Well,
problem?
I've been added as a, I just got a notice 2 days ago, actually, because I've been living in Boston while I'm working up there, to be here. So, about 11 Taylor Street.
So let me maybe explain.
And Jim and I have been, I know Jim, we've been working on this for a long time.
We have anything, we can see anything? You have anything for us?
Are you the owner?
I'm trustee for the owner, so if I say I don't mean it, I mean we.
Yeah, yeah.
But, yeah.
So for
But-
those of you who may not be, you know, I assume you're all aware of the property that the Board of Health condemned on Taylor Street. Mr. Skinner's been working to clean it up, so it looks a whole lot better than it is now. Him, as a trustee, the condemnation order was issued on the previous owner, no longer owns the property. So this is partially a formality to essentially issue the order to the appropriate owner, to find, with the exception of it being cleaned up, and again, a significant effort, if I do say so myself, the building still is in a condition that it's unfit for human habitation. So what I guess what I want to do is make sure the order has been issued to the proper owner of the property, for two reasons. One, it makes it abundantly clear that, yes, in fact, the property is still condemned. And two, it kind of puts a timeline, it provides the board with a timeline. So let's say Mr. Skinner decides, I'm not going to ever do anything with this property. In a year, you can, because the housing code states that within a year, after a year of you condemning it, the board could actually tear the property down and clean the property. So it does those two things. It makes sure that current owners know exactly what the conditions are and that it's unfit.
And I'm sorry, we are at a year?
Beg your
Oh,
pardon?
we are at the year more where we.
No, I guess what happened was, the old owner was well past the year, and because of the way the bank had it, and
Okay.
the previous board were pursuing possibly tearing it down and putting a lien on it. But because of the ownership agreements with the bank and the previous owner, there couldn't be any guarantee the town would get their money back for tearing it down, and so the town decided not to spend the money. So now the old owner no longer owns it. So according to town council, that stuff kind of all went away, and we'd have to make it proper, we'd have to issue the condemnation order on the current owners. And that's what the purpose of tonight.
I'm just curious, what's the plan for it?
I don't have one.
Yeah.
I'm working on it. Hunters took out 15 dumpsters
Oh, my God.
full of stuff from the house, I think.
Well, it sounds like you're gonna clean it up and make it usable again.
That's the
Is
goal.
that-
Well, the initial goal was to tear it down, but it was a short sale, and the bank kept pushing the price up so that it can no longer be torn down. But that also suggested that it was worthy of keeping.
Yeah.
We didn't, it was a hoarder situation. We went on an inspection, and you couldn't even walk through the house. You could not walk through the house.
When was the last time, Jim Scooty, last time you went to see the building?
After you bought it.
Yeah, it was a couple months ago.
Okay, yeah. And I didn't even know there was a piano in the house.
Right.
You could see it now.
There's
So
a
now you
grand
can-
piano in the house, in the living room, and you couldn't see the grand piano.
You can walk, you
I
can walk,
can't play, but it's like, where'd this come from?
And
like,
it's still
cool.
tuned.
you can walk on there now?
Oh, you can walk through the house.
It's a
Like I say,
beautiful
it's-
house, I
it's-
bet.
Thank you.
It
It's
must
an incredible job of cleaning up, I mean, just for the material that was on the site to now. So that, I mean, that's the big part that got taken care of. But again, because there's no services to it, because there's no heating system to it,
Right,
there's no
right.
gas or water,
So it's gutted pretty much?
it's.
No,
No?
not gutted, it's empty.
Empty?
Yeah,
But there's outside, where there was a garage that collapsed in the snow, and that's a disaster.
that's right.
So the
It's just a
interior
big
of the home
chunk.
has been cleaned, wrong word, cleaned out,
Yeah.
to determine whether it's worth keeping. So I have a structural engineer has come in and said, and given a sign off, you know.
So
We
you
had
have,
to ask
you have
them
an
to sign
engineer
off.
already, right?
I'm sorry?
You have an engineer already?
Not, structure, well, just someone to give a letter,
He's saying, do you have one prepared? Do
no,
you have anybody?
not a report
Okay.
per se,
So the
just a
reason
letter
you-
saying that,
your
this is
reason-
worthy of keeping.
Your reason that you're here, just to tell us that you're gonna keep the building.
You invited me.
Well, no, we're supposed to
No, I know.
either re-condemn
But
the
I'm
new
saying,
owner or.
I personally signed it to condemn that house.
Yes.
2 years ago.
And they took those signs down, the placards down. The fire department was very pleased with what they saw.
Okay. So the question,
That-
we
that
like,
placard was a different
we like,
reason.
the board like,
Okay.
the board likes to know what actually you're gonna do with the building. Are you gonna
Improve it.
refurbish, improve it, not throw it down, but see if the engineer will say, okay, we can save it, we can manage to rebuild it to a point where you can sell it later, you refurbish, you put everything new there? Okay.
Yeah.
Do you understand how much it's gonna cost you?
Yes.
Okay, just to give you an idea,
Well,
maybe $250,000.
He's not in a, he
You are-
doesn't-
We bought it for $250 cash.
Yeah, so you're gonna put another couple $100,000 in.
Zillow said it was worth $750, so,
That's what I'm
you know, so we'll
saying.
base it on that.
Yeah.
But
So
he
you-
does- but he
But I
doesn't-
don't know what I'm going to do with it
he
in
doesn't
terms of
have
whether
to
it's in a
commit
single
to
family.
anything, though.
No, I'm only asking a general question.
So,
We don't wanna make sure that it's gonna end up like it was before. My question is, you committing yourself, so the house is gonna be refurbished.
Correct.
Taking care of it, it looks like decent, so you can sell it for $750,000.
Our goal would be to keep, we buy real estate and keep it long-term.
Right,
So our goal
that's
would be
all I
to keep
wanted to
it.
know, that's it.
so Gino, the purpose for tonight is I actually, on the board's behalf, so that we can reinstate the condemnation order, invited Mr., as part of the condemnation process. in
Yes,
code,
right.
He needs to be notified so he can come here and
Right,
say his
we
piece.
appreciate, yeah, I
And
appreciate
so,
it.
what, I guess, what we need to do is decide.
I
and again,
appreciate you here too tonight, I really do.
Based on the conditions.
Right, right.
It really hasn't changed a lot, like I say, the work that you've done is incredible, because it's,
been
but
very
again,
supportive.
the major reasons
Right.
why we would condemn it
Right,
are still
because
there.
it's a
Do we
nice
need to sign
location.
anything or vote?
So you need to vote to, if you believe that the house is still unfit for human habitation, you'd vote to condemn
And-
it. And then, what would
You
end up
going?
happening is, the board would then issue a condemnation notice to
Okay.
Mr. Skinner.
And you're saying it's still,
You're not thinking that, are you?
What?
Did you put your hand up to condemn it?
Well,
yeah.
No.
this house is still inhabitable.
Okay.
So-
I don't know what to condemn means. then,
Oh,
but
okay.
No, no.
It's not inhabitable, there's no service, there's no
Right.
water, there's not going to be
That's all-
anybody living
that's
there.
what
If
it-
anyone's found there, please,
Well, no,
I'd like
let
them
Jim,
arrested for
why don't you,
trespassing.
you want to
That's
define?
nice, that's
Define
nice.
it
And
for him.
I am fully committed, we are fully committed to turning this into a nice property
Right.
for this town.
Right.
Well,
My
let's,
sister went to this school.
let Jim tell you what the definition is, what
So
that means.
unfit for human habitation would be no heating system, no water, no
Right,
gas,
right,
no
right.
power.
Yeah.
But
The
he's
plumbing
got-
systems, everything's been
And that's
kind
all
of-
we mean by condemned, is that
And that's
correct,
kind of where
Jim?
Gino was going. If you're committing to fix this,
Yes.
we may recondemn it now, but we know that in the future you're going to fix it.
Right.
It will be pulled off.
Right.
Okay.
We want to know that there is an option in the future for you
Uh-huh.
to keep it long-term
Have
and not
an
to
improvement,
recondemn.
because if no improvement is made, then
It stays
sign
condemned.
it.
That's right.
Is
But
that,
we're not
o-
doing nothing now, don't
do you
get excited.
understand?
We
Is
don't
that
want-
okay?
Well, as long as, I'm here on a positive note. I want to say that I'm trying to improve a property.
Yeah, so
And
it's-
I want everyone to like me, because so I can come back and
Of
get
course,
permits
yeah.
approved
We
to
give
do
you a
work.
first seat.
Yeah,
We
you're
give you a
good.
first seat. You should
And we're
be
happy with
happy.
you already since the
Yeah.
work
Yes.
is to clean it up. I mean,
And the
it's-
backyard is disaster.
But it
And
is-
That's happening starting within 2 weeks.
But we
Yeah.
are going to have to
September.
vote to transfer the condemnation over to you as the property
Yeah, I
owner.
understand that.
Okay, that's
And-
all we're doing here.
You-
So
you-
I would, can I make a
Not
motion?
yet, 1 second.
Okay.
I haven't finished yet. I'm talking for the board. Now, it's August, almost over. Today is my birthday, so be nice to me. And actually,
days.
tomorrow morning is gonna be my birthday, so you can be rough with me. Let's say we forget about August, you say September, so you have September, October, November. Will you be kind enough to come back and let us know the more improvement will be done?
Don't even need invitation, I'll be happy to come.
That's it. And you don't have to bring any cookie or chocolate, just come yourself. We got plenty
I
of
will have
water
lots of
together.
work done by then.
All right. And that's what we want to know. What we're going to do is, because the prior owner,
Yes.
we wanted to make sure, like he says, we gave you a leeway, 3 months, give us an improvement for the back, a little bit.
Yep.
Then, we know that it's going to be winter. We give you a leisure so you can work inside if you find somebody willing to work with the snow and the ice with no heat and everything. But we give you leisure for that, and then in the spring,
Yep.
well, look, the inspector's going to come, he will come, I will come. Maybe if they want
I
to
know
come,
he's coming.
If they wanted to come, they can take the day off from where they do the work, we can all go there. There will be no meeting, it was just, so they can understand what we trying to tell you. We just want, it's a nice place, a nice house, the way it was many, many years ago. All right? So he be happy, the inspector be happy,
Okay.
we be happy. So we give you like 6 months so you can see the improvement.
Great. That's
Would you like
fantastic.
that?
That'd be
6
perfect.
months?
That's perfect.
Now you can make a motion if you want to.
I'd like
Give them
to-
6 months.
Move, is that okay?
Go for it.
Move to transfer the condemnation of the house over to the current property owner.
Okay.
Second.
6 months.
Yes.
3 months, you come back.
All in favor?
Yep.
All in-
Nice to see you. All in favor?
Aye,
All opposed?
Okay.
None?
thank you.
Thank you.
So
You have a
what
good
you
night.
get is
Don't-
essentially a notice that says that the house is unfit for human habitation. It's just kind of a legal.
Because it is unfit for human habitation.
Know that from your concerns, from what you stressed, right as you're saying, wait, why did you raise your hand? You're on the good note, you're making the progress.
Yep.
Just keep the progress, that's all it is. Like, you're on the good side, don't worry.
Great, okay, excellent. Well, thank you. I'll
For
look
peace
forward
of
to
mind.
changing their minds and stuff.
Good night.
Thank you, appreciate
Take
it.
care.
Thanks, Jim. Take care.
Appreciate it. Nice to see you again.
Yep, take care.
I close the
11 through
Hi,
15
Joe,
Taylor.
what's up? Looking for that?
Checking on the permit.
Permit? Yeah, I think we already signed it.
Oh, it's right
We'll
here.
go over for Shelley and then.
Right?
You all set,
Easy.
Mr. Cataldo?
Thank
We
you. Have a
we
good
don't
night.
even have to give you a hard time.
Permit today, so.
Oh, great.
Joe, we were looking at, I walked that, are you keeping that big tree in the front? What kind of tree is that?
It's a copper peach.
Is it rare, or is it, I know it's gorgeous.
They're an unusual tree. I mean, it takes years for that
To
to
grow.
get to that
Yeah,
size, so,
yeah.
yeah, we're pretty excited about that.
It's nice.
So, thank you.
Nice.
No problem, yeah. Good night.
Happy birthday.
Tomorrow morning.
29 or 30?
No, I was 47 yesterday. Tomorrow I'm gonna be 46.
Oh, there you go, the other way.
Bagger Vance.
It's like a reverse.
No, it's not Bagger Vance. Who was that?
Have
That
a good night. Thank you.
Take it easy, guys.
Benjamin Button.
Close that too. It's almost 8 o'clock. I have one more thing to discuss. Because everything was discussed, because you wanted to discuss. It's my turn now. As a member of the board, I have a complaint from, and you are such a nice lady. You read it to the board. We have seniors for 37 individual, I think. And the reason is, there is a trailer in a mobile park, number 33, I think it is. And Jimmy knows what I'm talking about. Is the roof is falling apart. They have rats, not mouse, rats and snakes. And there's a nice park,
At least they can
and
all eat.
people complaining that a lot of rats running around just because there's nobody living in that particular mobile home for 10 years.
Okay.
For some reason, they want to keeping it without providing to fix it or replace it for a new one. So I give it to the board. It's only a discussion. Maybe next time, when we all five here, and the chairman will say, we have a motion to do this or to do that. We'll leave it to the board.
I can go by and talk to the trailer, the park owner and see what's up with it.
There is nobody there on the office.
Okay, but
Do you need a complaint to come into your office?
not necessarily, I mean, that's,
On the way.
somebody
Like
called
I
us, somebody called us once, I went out, the grass was high, they've since cut the grass around the trailer, if it's the one I'm thinking about.
They got in touch with me. They got in touch
But
with me.
again, unless there's food and garbage outside, I didn't see rats there when I was there the day I
Yeah.
walked around it. So I mean, I'm more than happy to go by and take a look. And anyone who's, I mean,
Glass building is on the right, as
you
you're
know,
going
it's,
towards the air.
we get those complaints all the time, there's rats all over the place.
Yeah, there is people, they're elderly, they're not 25 or 30, they're elderly, they wanted to walk, it's a nice park,
Yep.
and every time they work in that area, you know, they're afraid to walk, because the rats are multiplying now.
Yeah, but I guess I haven't seen any of the other times I've
Well,
been there. Okay.
there is, they live in a trailer.
So let me talk to the park operator and see what's.
Yeah,
up
see
with
what you
Joe.
can do, and if there's anything I can do to help you, every time I go someplace, somebody stop me. Gino, did you do anything for that? So now we are in television, I let the board know,
Sure.
and there's 37 signatures, so we need to listen,
Yep.
because those people are elderly, and they are human beings like us, and
Absolutely.
they wanted to walk and enjoy the park.
Sure. Okay.
Any comment from the board?
If no one's lived there, we can find the owners, or we know who the owners are?
The owner, yeah,
I'll talk to the park
That-
manager.
talk to
So
park,
Get it down
and
that way.
You can get the
So-
owner, we send them a letter.
Then, Has that trailer been condemned?
Haven't been in it, so I don't know that it's in a condition that would cause it to be condemned.
Nobody lived there for 10 years. The roof is, look like it,
Like collapsed?
yeah, a little bit. In the
So if it gets condemned, more of the ball is rolling that way.
Sure.
Yeah.
But again, you need a reason to condemn it. I mean, this is an example.
Well, they have
where-
to inspect,
Yeah.
make sure it's inoperable.
And again, we'd have to have access to the property, so,
If, on the
Gotcha.
rat issue,
That becomes.
if you don't see rats just because you can't be there all the time,
Right.
can you put a trap down and
Sure.
see?
And I can certainly talk to the park about that.
Because that way, and then if you have, if you know there are rats there, does that spur anything?
Well, we would talk to the park management about, again, we won't necessarily know where the rats are coming from.
Yeah.
I mean, that's, you know how close those trailers are, so.
Okay.
Again, one of the things they'll be looking for is food, and if nobody's been there for 10 years.
Yeah, why are they there?
Well, they
Or you said they eat
can
snakes.
get it and take it. That could be the
Sure.
home, you know, because they could make that their
That
house,
could be their nest.
their nest, along with the snakes. They made friends.
But,
Well, unfortunately, I'm not sure you'd ever get rid of the snakes, so, because.
Well, if you get rid of the structure.
yeah.
Well, no, just the snakes in general, I mean, they're just.
Oh, in life.
Yeah, I mean, they're gonna be up under the trailers because of the skirts and stuff like that.
I don't understand
That's
why
true.
they pay every month, and if the building is not even habitable, you know what I'm saying? It's different if they can fix it, and if somebody rent it,
Yeah.
but that is silly. That is like a slap on the.
Yeah, but is it something that was already paid outright and it's done? They
No,
own the
every
lot?
month they have to pay rent.
Yeah, but if there's a
For-
mortgage paid and it's paid
Yeah,
off.
the mortgage is paid because it's an old trailer.
That's what I'm saying, so no one's ever paying. Maybe they would just say forget about it. or-
The
Well, you have
owner
to pay for the
pays every
space.
month.
Yeah.
They
Oh,
have to
lot
pay-
space,
They have
okay.
to pay for the lot,
I didn't realize how that.
okay? And we're talking about $300-400 a month. You don't pay just $20 a month. It's a $400.
Well, then maybe it's more of a concern than we think, because you never
Well,
know what's
we
going
got-
on inside that place, even though you
You
see a
got-
lot of
If you
rats.
gotta
and
go
snakes.
inside, we have to make sure we can get a key, and the office should have a key,
That's a good point.
and then we go inside,
No, we need to have permission to go inside.
well, we ask
You'll have-
permission.
Yeah, from the owner of the trailer.
Because I tell them, if we don't get permission,
Or an old
we
one before.
sign a letter that we're gonna condemn that place.
Well, I mean.
Very simple.
What you could do is if you had reason or cause, you could certainly.
There is a cause.
You could apply,
Yeah.
you could go to the court and ask for a search warrant to go in.
Right,
but-
we can do, you gotta just let them know in the letter, so they say, my God, you know, we have to make sure that, have to let them in to see if it's okay. The roof is leaking, and if you, like he says, those rats probably live there.
Or is there any way to make this a public health concern that, you know,
It is.
state would be involved with this, you know, something, nothing that
It's-
escalated?
it's a local
state
matter.
town. So even if it's just the town and local, then there's kids, there's elderly, there's everybody else that's over there. This, you
So
know,
I'll go
rats
by
and stuff like that is
well, I'll
bad,
go by
bad
and
disease
talk
spread.
with the park owners and, yeah.
Well, I'm on their side. I want to get it
Yep.
taken care of. That's
I really appreciate it, Jimmy.
yeah.
Thank you so much for everything.
Yep.
Yeah. It's 8:05 almost. And we have nothing else. I appreciate you listening to my complaint.
I appreciate them doing it.
I entertain a
Sometimes it
motion
takes a lot of
motion
courage.
for adjourn.
A motion to adjourn.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All on favor? Thank you.